She cultivates an environment built on personal connection, education, and creative collaboration, and has excelled at the art and science of building a boss brand. Give it up for Mollie.
Hi, Erin. Hi. Let's sit. Where do you want to sit? I'm going to sit on the. You want to sit together? Yes. Oh, it's such a beautiful fire.
A fire?
Yes.
So I know a lot about you, but I'm excited for all of these beautiful women to get to know about you as well. My first question is, could you share with us the story behind the inception of Westshore Diamond and what inspired you to pursue entrepreneurship in this specific industry?
I have long-winded answers, and long version and short version. But basically, I became a gemologist really young. I was blessed to figure it out like at 18. And mostly because I had my daughter very young and I had to find a way to support us. And I really was driven to make sure that she has everything that she deserves. Because, you know, as a young mom, you feel guilty. And so I think that had a big part of go ahead and like, I'm going to be an adult right now and I'm going to figure it out. And I went to a jewelry store. They offered me a job and I loved it. And so many people in my industry are families or they're super rich. So I was neither. And so I learned that I was really good at selling, and so I'm young and I get to meet people and I get to wear fancy clothes and act older, and so I think it just was wonderful to just automatically be in an environment that cultivated learning more and being more in this industry. If it wasn't for Zales Jewelers, I would not be sitting here. And I get emotional because I've loved every fucking minute of my job. From the very beginning, I've loved it. And so after that, I moved back to Tampa. So I went to school, became a gemologist, came back to Tampa. I have my daughter, she's 6 at this point. And I got to experience Home Shopping Network, Tiffany & Company, an independent store. Like being a gemologist, especially in Tampa, is very rare. So I was I could make more money than my friends that graduated from college at that time. And I just felt awesome. But at that time, I worked at Tiffany's. So it's small hours, it's retail. And that's hard when you're a single mom. Mm-hmm. And so my daughter was kind of having meltdowns, and I had her at like my aunt's house, my friend's house, you know, when you're working till 10 o'clock at night. And so Tiffany's is a little boring in the fine jewelry department. So I remember sitting there, like, I can't look at my mom because my mom's crying all the time. So I remember just sitting behind the counter, staring out into the mall and being like, what the hell am I doing? This is so boring. Like, what else can I do? And I'm like, everybody comes up to me and asks me questions. And these are people that are like managers and district manager. They're like, oh, can you identify this? Can you look at this diamond? You can, whatever. And I'm like, what? And so when you're young, you don't have the confidence yet. You don't know that you're good or not, and you don't know the skill level that your manager has. So when that started happening, it started clicking like, wait, I think I can do this like on my own. And so again, there's not a lot of gemologists in Tampa, and therefore not a lot of appraisers. So I decided I'm gonna buy a microscope and I'm gonna go to all the stores around town and ask them for appraisal work. And so that was my first business, and that was 18 years ago. That's Independent Gemological Services. And when you're young, you have a blind faith. You have you feel like you're invincible. And I'm really lucky that that's what happened to me, because I was like, oh, let me get business cards. Let me just get my microscope. Let me just go door to door without any. I remember writing my little notebook, like jewelry stores' names and phone numbers and calling. And so, and it was just a really cool lesson. And that's how I got pushed into my first entrepreneurial environment, and it worked out well. And then I got really good at building a customer base, referral base, all this. I was ready to have my own office after a few years, maybe like 5 years. So I got an office, and now I can offer all services. So naturally, Westshore Diamond was created because the customers would be like, why don't you get me that diamond? Or why don't you design that piece for me? And I was good at it. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, wait, I just made way more money doing that. So I said, let me keep going there. But I never gave up IGS. I still have IGS because appraisals bring customers that love jewelry. And so that's what created Westshore Diamond, is those customers turning into Westshore Diamond customers. It was really important. So it's been 14 years since Westshore. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alrighty.
That was my long-winded answer.
My next question is, can you explain for us the importance of authenticity in building your brand and how you consistently stay true to your brand's identity?
All right, so Westshore Diamond's here. Who do we want to be? How do we want to explain ourselves? In the beginning, you want to be everything to everyone. You think you need to do that. And you spread yourself super thin. But in my heart, if you go anywhere else for jewelry, then that's not good. So, so I would say, yes, I'll change your battery. Yes, I'll get you those pearl earrings you can get at Sears. I'll get you that. But what I learned slowly is when you decide on a very specific type of product, then people will remember you for that specific type of product. And so you have to choose what that is, what you do best, what you make the most profit in. And customers need to know what you have. And when they do, then your business actually grows faster and more authentic to what I do best and what I like doing. So that only happened a few years ago, though, that I learned all that. That I decided that. And that is engagement rings, by the way.
That's what I was going to ask. I want you to share, since you narrowed it down, what are the main things that you focus on now?
So in Tampa, I want to be known for engagement rings, and this can be every single budget. I really respect someone coming in and allowing me to be a part of such a big time in their life. And so whether that's a ring that's $200 or a ring that's $200,000, it's the same emotional connection and feeling for them and me. So that for sure. And then super high-end fine jewelry. We don't have a lot of places in town that sell, $100,000 earrings or necklaces. And I've been in the industry so long, I have a lot of great connections. And so they trust me with sending me product that I'm not obligated to. And we see what we like, and then I send it back, whatever we don't want. So big retailers can't buy all that stuff for their stores. It's too expensive, so you don't have it. So this environment allows me to broker really high-end pieces. And so high-end, fine jewelry and engagement rings is what I focus on.
So if anybody's looking to get engaged soon, you know where to go. My next question is, the human touch we see is becoming more scarce with AI and all of this technology. However, we know the importance of truly connecting with an audience. One way that we see businesses do this is through storytelling. Share with us how storytelling plays a role in shaping the narrative of Westshore Diamond and how it connects with your clients on a deeper emotional level.
Most of you have tried to do videos on social media, I'm sure, and it's scary, and you're vulnerable, and you hate it. And so I've known I've needed to do this for a really long time, and every year I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do more videos. I'm gonna do more video content. I'm gonna speak to my audience, and I do like 5 a year. And so I feel like I do it every day, though, when I'm in front of my clients. I really like give my heart, and I want their heart. So I do it really well. And people on the outside on social media, they don't know that. They don't see that. They see fancy jewelry. They don't know who I am at all. And that's my fault. So you'll see more videos now. I hired someone to like force me to do it. Just by like walking into my office and like asking me a question, and then I just say it because it's more natural. But it's really important. People will not buy from you if they do not know who you are. They don't want to. They need to know. If you're a small business, they need to know who is running the business. Who is this? And build that trust. And so it requires being vulnerable. Yes, and so being authentic too. That's why I wanted my person to just walk in and ask me a question, because if I know the question, I'm gonna come up with my, bright and shiny answer, and that's not authentic. So, and you can hear that on a video. So that's what I think.
Yes, I think it's really important that you are doing these videos, because you are one of the most genuine people I know, and you really create that true connection with your clients, and that's what everybody does need to see, that part of you. So I'm excited to see some more of these videos. My next question is, it's so easy to get caught up in the ever-evolving landscape of marketing and branding. How do you stay innovative and adapt to emerging trends while also staying true to your brand's essence?
Some people are, they know what their brand is, they know exactly who they are, when they start it. I didn't. It took me a while to discover and be confident about what my brand is. And so now I can say that if I see something like, say, a color scheme or a type of product, like marketing product, I can definitely say, that's not me, I don't like that, that is absolutely not me, I love it, but it's not me, and or not Westshore Diamond. And so I like that I'm there. And we're in a time where marketing is, I don't want to say easy, but for small businesses it's been the easiest in ever to gain clients through social media. And so I noticed that there's a lot of influencing going on, and I am influenced every day. Like, oh yeah, you got that hair product? Let me get that hair product. So I get it, but for me, a lot of my marketing people that I've hired, they're like, oh, let's do an influencer event. I'm like, none of those bitches are wearing my ring, so that's weird to me. They're out in the world, people are like, oh, where's your ring from? And it's not Westshore Diamond, and yet they're on my freaking website and my social media. Like, I don't like that. That made me uncomfortable. So I decided that those aren't my customers anyway. My customers are the women and men that want to have these things, want to be these things, not the ones that already have it. So when I learned that, now I can have a clear path of like who I'm speaking to. And that if it's an influencer, great, but she better be wearing my jewelry. And if it's not, if it's, a client, then that's even better. Another thing I learned is when you're making videos or you're even posting something, you're constantly thinking about like, who's judging me in my industry, right? Like, oh shit, what if they see that I didn't put the right word for that stone? Or what if they think that I'm not doing it right, you know? And I'm like, wait, no. People in my industry aren't my customers either. So stop thinking that. And you got to check yourself all the time with those types of things.
Yes, that's really good advice because I feel it's so easy to see all these posts like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, I like these fine line logos now. But you really got to stay true to your brand and be able to zone out and know what you want and what your customers want as well. My next question for you is, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs and businesswomen looking to build their own boss brand in today's dynamic market environment?
The no fear is really important. And I've been blessed that I have a strong faith, and so I feel like I have always someone by my side next to me, like carrying me every day. But also, you have to look at life a little bit like a game. You know, we're not here for a long time, and so every day is precious. And so, how can I be the best I can be, doing what you love? And don't worry about failing. And I mean, you hear that all the time, but you really, what I believe is, if you're not supposed to be doing that, it is going to fail. And so it's because you're supposed to be doing something else. So, and that's okay. Because once you are doing what you're meant to be doing, then it works, and it will always work. So, my alarm system at my office, I give thanks for the day when I go home, and in my mind I say, today worked really well, thank you. And the day that it doesn't, and I feel like this is not, you know, doing what it used to be doing, then I'm okay with that, and it's time to move on. So just knowing that like allows me to relax and like take the pressure off that I have to be everything.
Yeah. It's definitely very important to be able to give yourself grace, and I feel like it's very hard with ambitious women. We're always trying to do the next thing and be the next thing and be better, but just take a step back and look at how far you have come and give yourself a little grace. My final question is, what is next for Mollie and Westshore Diamond?
That's a loaded question. No. So this past year was the best year that I've ever had, and it continues at a rapid pace right now. I think once you find your stride, and after 14 years, all these tiny little things that I've done, you know, that gala I went to, and that, you know, networking thing, and that referral, like all of it is now fruitful. And I'm recognizing that. And so, okay, now what? My kids are in high school. I have a very supportive husband, and I have a great business. How do I scale? How do I want to scale? And so that's where I'm at. And I feel like it's still baby steps. Like I really do believe like every little step can build. You don't just jump into it. So I'm looking for an executive assistant. That's the first order of business. I don't see my emails ever. Don't ever email me. So I need to change that. And then I think I'm going to build the appraisal business again, because the only other appraiser in Tampa recently retired, and so I can actually build that again. So, but that requires another person. So you're going to see Westshore Diamond step up even more in a big way, and then we'll see. I'm in 5-year increments always. That's the next 5 years. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mollie. Every single time I talk to you, I learn something new. I definitely recommend everybody chat with Mollie. She has an incredible story, even more than what she shared today. But thank you so much, and give it up for Mollie.
Thank you.